to fight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. This piece is from the Guardian newspaper. It's entitled, "This isn't just a culture war. We need a radical anti-fascist movement right now." And it's from Ash Sakara. And I will put the links on my website as normal. As I say, this piece is from the Guardian newspaper, and I will quote from an excerpt of this piece. This is just an excerpt. "This hostile climate has emerged hand in hand with the growth of the popularity of the organised far right in the UK, both online and on our streets. The Football Lads Alliance, which has defended calls for Sadiq Khan to be hanged and described its rallies as anti-Islam events, has an online membership of 65,000 Facebook users. According to this article, it's bankrolled by an American far-right think tank. Tommy Robinson has seen his profile skyrocket in the past year. His prison homecoming video racked up 4.1 million views. A London demonstration demanding his release in June saw outbreaks of mass disorder and violence. Steve Bannon's meetings with the former Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson had an immediate payoff for the neo-fascist fixer. Just a few weeks later, Johnson penned his notorious Letterbox article, emboldening racists up and down the country. While I argue that embracing vibrancy and joy is essential bulwark against the left's tendency towards energy-sapping endless meetings, pop culture alone won't save us from racism. Just look at the United States. The culture industry is undoubtedly progressive in its output, and yet, combined with the forces of YB, Mark Ruffalo and Beyonce, couldn't keep Donald Trump out of the White House. We need more than just reiteration of values of diversity and cosmopolitanism. We need a truly radical anti-racist network that's capable of mobilizing mass opposition when the far right mark, as well as being able to embed itself in communities to frustrate the far right's ability to represent itself as the champion of the downtrodden working class. Its favoured terrain is the culture war. Instead, we should be out to gain territory. And the article continues, but that gives you a flavour of that piece. A piece that highlights the view that is being perpetrated in the UK about President Trump and others. When he was a tycoon, they loved him, but now he's in a position of power to change the country that had been seriously diminished and quite frankly lost its way. He and others became overnight the second coming of Lucifer himself. Ask ordinary Americans who have been struggling for years and you will get a very different view. Another example is Chicago, Illinois, a city under Democratic rule for nearly a century. As the African Americans there, how their lives and their parents' lives and their grandparents' lives have been no different, and the opportunities afforded to them have been the same. And these so-called anti-fascists that don't even comprehend the meaning of those words spew out this liberal diatribe, believing it wholeheartedly, not actually knowing the facts on the ground. They have been brainwashed by decades of left-wing media. And if you dare to criticise the fact that new ethnic groups have invaded the United States in the last 20 years, you are a racist. Just as the woman in Quebec recently who asked what the heck was going on there to Trudeau, his answer was, "You're a racist. No, we have the right." Or would you like to see your country turned into a lawless, barbarian 7th century nation? I think not, but you're still a racist. This piece just underlies the lies fed to citizens in most Western countries. You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab and email. You can now find us on Spotify. Just go to the podcast section and type Canadian Politics with a Twist and you'll find us. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments at Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio, and please click on the like button. And you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Moments tab.